Hey boys, it's Harm9. Today we're going to be going over 10 daily tasks that I do to stay rich in Grand Theft Auto Online. These are all things that I'm going to recommend that you guys do as well, and it will seriously help to maintain any wealth that you have in GTA Online while also actually getting you more wealth as time goes on. Leave a like if you enjoy the video or you learned something. Consider subscribing to my channel if you guys are new. Let's go ahead and get started with number 10. Starting us off at number 10, I have collecting all of my safes. Now, I have several different businesses in GTA Online with passive or semi-passive wall safes that need to be collected every now and again. To do this really quickly, I'll typically just change my spawn location to each business and then change sessions. Then I'll run to each safe and pick up the money, then change spawn locations again and rinse and repeat this process until I've got all of my safes. Even with less than half full safes in each business, typically this will net me between $200,000 and $400,000, and if you do it with this method, it'll take you less than 3 minutes to visit all of the locations that you're going to need to go to get all of your money. Next up, we have the weekly HSW and regular time trials. By completing these time trials weekly, you can make roughly $18 million extra per year in GTA Online, which might not sound like a lot. However, if you take the average amount of time spent to get $18 million and consider the fact that pretty much all of the time trials will take less than 5 minutes to complete each, this is actually one of the best money makers per hour in all of GTA Online. This is something that I do typically at the start of every update week. When I get into the game the next day, I will go and do the time trials and just knock them out for the week, just so that I don't forget. Next up, we have tow truck missions. Now, these are some of the first missions I'll do when I get into GTA Online every day. You simply go to a location and pick up a vehicle and return it to be chopped at your salvage yard property. Each vehicle will be worth $30,000 to $40,000, and you can do 2 of them, and after 48 minutes you'll get the money deposited into your account. Now, additionally, this will also increase your salvage yard safe income to the maximum, which is $24,000 every 48 minutes of in-game time. Now, this might not seem like a ton of money, but it certainly adds up, and when you stack it on top of everything else that we're going to touch on today, it really starts to add up in the long run. Next up, we have the daily stash houses, and every day there's a stash house that will spawn on your map marked by this icon that you guys can see here on screen. Now, going there, taking out the 5 enemies in the basement, and then finding the yellow sticky note with the safe combo on it and entering it into the safe will grant you full supplies for one of your businesses in GTA Online, which saves you spending $75,000 to resupply a particular business. Now, you do also have a chance of getting supplies for your acid lab if you have one, which are only worth about $60,000. So what I'd recommend doing is, before doing the stash house, is actually calling Mutt and purchasing supplies over the phone, just to avoid the acid lab getting the supplies and therefore losing you out on $15,000 of additional profit in theory. Stash houses spawn at 11 p.m. PST every single day, so make sure you guys do them before they respawn and go on to the next day's stash house. Next up, we have the auto shop and MC customer deliveries. Now, while these are a little bit tedious, they can make you a really quick $100,000 plus. The MC delivery itself pays $50,000, and the auto shop deliveries pay between $35,000 and $50,000 a piece. And there will be 2 available typically. I usually let the staff deliver in the auto shop, and while they're delivering, I will go and do the MC delivery, since you don't have the option of using staff to do it. This is a super quick and easy method, which I really like to do every now and again, just to get a little bit of extra money going here and there. Now, you don't have to let the staff deliver your auto shop cars, but I would recommend doing it, and while they're out delivering those, you can also do your MC customer bike, and then it saves you time and you'll still get money. So it's a win-win. Next up, we have the master control terminal, and I always make sure to go to my master control terminal once I log in. Whether it's in my arcade or my terabyte, I'll check the status of all my applicable businesses, and if they're not supplied, I will purchase supplies wherever necessary. I will, however, typically leave my bunker or an MC business without supplies, so that if I have a stash house available, that I can send the supplies there and guarantee that they'll actually go to one of those businesses and not the acid lab like I mentioned before. Next up, we have agency security contracts, and while I technically don't do this anymore, this is something that I did do for a very long time. At some point shortly after logging in, I would always go and do a security contract in my agency and make sure to do at least one every time I got into GTA Online. Doing this will pump your numbers up for the security contracts completed, which will also therefore increase your daily safe take in your agency business, which maxes out at $20,000 every in-game day once you've crossed a total of 201 security contracts complete. And if you do it this way, it does add up really quick. Plus, you also get paid for the contracts themselves, and they'll pay anywhere between $35,000 and $80,000 each time you do a security contract. Now, a word of warning though, I would suggest only doing gang termination, recover valuables, or worst case scenario, doing the rescue operation. Those three are the simplest security contracts to complete as long as you have some sort of armed helicopter or aircraft, ideally. Next up, we have the bunker and CEO office deliveries. Now, with the bunker, you can do the ammunition delivery once every 48 minutes, and it will pay you $50,000 upon completion. This will be significantly easier as well if you have a helicopter like the Cargo Bob, but preferably the DH-7 Iron Mule, which will make it way faster than the Cargo Bob or driving to most ammunition locations. Now, you can also do the export mixed goods mission from the desk in the CEO office, which will typically take less time than the ammunition delivery, and it will also pay $50,000 upon completion. When you launch the mission, a truck will spawn at a random owned CEO cargo warehouse, and you have to drive it to the dock. Doing both of these won't take much time at all, but it will pay pretty handsomely for what they are for work. Something else that I'll mix in as I go about my day in GTA Online and go throughout this list is business maintenance. This is where I go to all of my businesses that require help to continue making as much money as possible. So for example, going to Smoke on the Water to reduce the heat level to increase the safe income in the car wash. Another example of this is doing the Kickout Troublemaker or Drunk VIP missions to increase the nightclub popularity, which will keep safe income as high as possible and therefore make more money. Higgins Heli Tours as well as the car wash are also places that I will visit daily to reduce the heat levels on, to try to keep making as much money as humanly possible. But at number one, I'm sure many of you would have guessed this, I passive source CEO cargo. Every single day when I get into GTA Online, the very first thing that I do is spawn in at the Darnell Bros Garment Factory and go to each of my 5 large CEO cargo warehouses. I pay each individual worker $7,500, and 48 minutes of real time later, whether I'm in game or not, they will source between 1 to 3 regular CEO cargo crates, each worth $20,000. And additionally, there's also a 1% chance that each worker can source a special item, which are worth upwards of $100,000 or more. Now, this is actually how I fill all of my CEO cargo warehouses, and when they're full, I sell them for a minimum of $2,220,000 each, netting a nice average profit of about $1.7 million on each warehouse, while not having to really lift a finger other than doing the sale mission itself. So there you have it, guys. Those are 10 things that I do every single day in GTA Online to stay rich for as long as possible and actually grow my wealth further. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, consider dropping a like and subscribing if you guys are new. And with that being said, I will see you guys all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.